Now, the term national treasure is often overused, but in the case of my next guest, it's the only way to describe him.
Right. No, I ain't got a bank. I don't believe it. All right, let's go! Never wear a suit that you wouldn't be happy letting a drunk be sick over. Listen to me, we just need an half-decent break and we'll be millionaires. Make sure that scumbag Brennan gets a decent night's kit, because I'm going to throw the bloody book at him tomorrow.
Oh, just fantastic. And Sir David Jason joins me now. This has made my week meeting you, you know that. I've been very excited about this all week.
That's nice to know.
I really have.
Yeah.
We're here to talk about your book, Only Fools and Stories. And what I love most about this is that when I read it, I hear your voice speaking every word in my ear. It's just your language, it's your style, and that's what makes it, for me, really, really special.
Well, that's very nice to know. I mean, yeah, I mean, one, obviously, if you're going to write a book, a memoir, which this is the second one, and I suppose the rationale being that I thought that I'd covered everything in the first book, and when they asked me what I, got to write another one, and I said, no, I've said it all, I've been there, done that. And they said, no, there must be something. Like, what I hadn't covered was my journey through the theatre and what I had done leading up to my television career, if you like. So I said, all right, I'll have a go. And it's nice of you to say that, because I've had similar comments before that it's got a lot of colloquialism, if you like. Well, it would do because I wrote it, but I try to write it in a style that how I would talk to you, in a relaxed way.
And that's exactly what it is. And we talk about theatre in those early days, and there's a picture, a black and white picture, early on in the book, and it was taken backstage at the Arts Theatre in Cambridge.
No.
And you speak about this picture as you've many photographs, I'm sure, over the years, but this picture, for some reason, has followed you in various boxes throughout your years. And there's a quote in the book about how it almost seems to contain the essence of why you got into acting. There's something about that picture, and it's special for you for that reason.
Yeah, I think you're probably right. I think the reason is that the journey that I've taken, a lot of people would never know that what I've done and how I developed my career into television. Yeah. And the stuff that I learnt through being in the theatre and being in front of real live people, if you like, every night, and the communication between the two of us is a learning process, right? So that particular learning process was when I was playing in The Relapse. Now, there's two things about that, which I'll quickly explain. But listen, it will explain the photograph, believe me, because I not normally in my spare time walk around like that, I have to tell you. But what the Relapse was of its period, and the Lord Foppington was a fop, which was like a teddy boy of the period, right? Well, in order to be accurate, they, in that time, the fops, would wear makeup like the women, like a drag artist, if you like, or people of a certain gender nowadays. And it was perfectly acceptable. It was perfectly acceptable then. But the thing was, I had to learn how to put that makeup on accurately as they did in that period. And so what you had to do is you wash yourself completely off and you start from the base, which is a white base, and you build a face onto that. Right?
Yes.
So that was that photograph that I quite enjoyed, because when you get to a certain point, you do become, your gender seems to change. So, yeah, it brings back fond memories of the working process of an actor, of what you have to subject yourself to and the range that you have to cover. And it's all part of that learning process.
Absolutely. And you followed that through clearly then into the building of all of these other incredible characters that we know and love you for. And Del Boy, we'll mention that you weren't going to initially be Del Boy. You think you may have been third, fourth, potentially fifth choice.
Yes.
Jim Broadbent being in there as one of the names as potentially having taken the role. But when you eventually get this part, you go out with the costume lady, Phoebe, and you get into her car and you are in charge of what you feel Del Boy's going to wear. That was part of what made the character special for you. You wanted to build him from scratch.
Yes, yeah, that's absolutely right. And I think the story is very true, that John Sullivan's concept of the character was one of a particular sort of character that was very prevalent in those days.
Yeah.
Well, you can still see them today, but he saw him as a beer drinking, big gut and a flat cap, and, with all the medallions and the gold and all of that. And as I'd said in the book, and as it's probably well known, that when I was working as an electrician, I met this character called Derek Hockley, who was the total opposite of what any Cockney person should be. I mean, he dressed like a model. He was immaculate, but he was as Cockney as all get out, his language. And I thought that was such a clever juxtaposition that is how I could see Del Boy going forward as a man of, you know, wanting to be Jack the Lad, smart, you know, pulling the birds, getting out there, wheeling and dealing, and that's the way that I saw him, you know. And so, fortunately, it worked.
It did.
Yes.
It did work. And like we say, the back catalogue is incredible, Dave. And we talk about Darling Buds of May, one of my favourite in my household. Open all hours. I could watch from start to finish all over again. Incredible memories in there, and that's what the book's all about. It's how it all began, and it's so lovely hearing you explain it. It's a different angle entirely.
Well, that's nice to know.
Yeah, and you also mentioned that there's always one big character left for you.
Yeah.
What can you see that potentially being?
You've asked me the multi-million-dollar question there, haven't you? I honestly don't know, but every time that I've faced with a character of weight, of substance, like whether it was Scullion in Porterhouse or Jack Frost, Del Boy, Parlark, you name them all. And what it says to me, it sets up a completely different set of challenges, because I try to explain it in the simplest way that I can. I wanted to be an actor, I think mainly because I wanted to hide myself, because as a, you know, as a person, I'm quite shy and I'm quite sort of reluctant in coming forward. But in order to express myself, I hide myself in these characters. You see, I always said that if you go and see a film like in our day, well, sorry, my day,
No,
gentle lady of your discreet age, you off put me there. You the stuff that you know, but if you go to see a John Wayne film, you go to see John Wayne being John Wayne.
Yes.
Whereas I was like Ronnie B. I wanted to be, you knew it was me, but I was portraying someone else, like in Frost or all the ones that I've said. That's not me.
Yeah.
That is them. And to try to create a believable character that you would believe and enjoy is my challenge.
Yeah, and it's what you've loved, and as I say, it's all in there in the book, Only Fools and Stories. It's just brilliant. Sir David, you've made my day meeting you. Thank you so much.
Thank you
very much indeed.
Thank
Lovely
you,
to see you.
Pleasure.